Welcome to the Life Makeovers podcast. My name is Cindy D. Whitmer, and I am the Midlife Makeover Coach, helping you turn your midlife into your best life, one step at a time. Through powerful conversations, my own midlife roller coaster story, and over 3 decades of helping people transform their lives through counseling and coaching, I am on a mission to help you create your own definition of success and happiness. Thank you for being here. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Life Makeovers podcast. Thank you so much for being here. Happy New Year. It's your lucky day today and mine too, because I have with me Anne Segendorf Moon, and I can't wait for you to meet her and hear all about her philosophies about aging and all kinds of other wonderful gems she has in store for us today. So hello, Anne. Thank you for being here. Tell us about yourself. What do you want the audience to know?
Okay, well, first, since you do makeovers with women, I want them to know that I'm 77. This is very important.
Oh my gosh, yes. And people, if you're just listening to this, you need to go to my YouTube channel and see this podcast. All my podcasts are video also on YouTube, and see this 77-year-old who looks like she's not a day over 60, maybe. I don't know. You look a lot younger than 77 to me.
That's good. And I don't use Botox and, all those things. Let's see. I've been a business coach for 30 years or longer, actually, but around 30 years. And, but I'm also a color and style specialist. I do color palettes in the legacy and heritage of Suzanne Cagle, who was the person who learned and taught us skin, hair, and eyes are what make up color. And then I'm also a pendulum healer, a Reiki master, and a certified sound healer. So I've been a magician for like a very long time and a metaphysician for a long time. So I think that's, my introduction.
Is that it? Just those 6 or 7 things?
Yeah. Let me tell you what's hard about doing 6 or 7 things. Feeling congruent when you market.
I bet.
In fact, let me say something about that, because I think it's really important. What brings my work together, on the website, we say the way of wealth and wellness, and coming home to yourself through business, color, and sound. Now, I mean, there's all sorts of other parts of it, but what is really important to me is that people come home to themselves. That's the hardest thing, especially with the internet, because everybody thinks they're supposed to be doing a million things on the internet or social media or whatever, and they sometimes lose themselves. And if there's anything that I do, it's bring people home to the truth of themselves. And that makes success so much easier.
I love what you just said. And actually, literally this morning, earlier today, I had a conversation with a coaching client of mine, a woman in midlife, who was saying she is going to reduce the amount of time she spends scrolling on social media, because she said it's all about capitalism. There's a bunch of selling going on. And it's like people are trying to tell us how to clean our houses and how to live our lives and how to da-da. And it's just noisy. And it's, there's a comparison game going on there. I mean, all these things that feel very upsetting. She says she looks for mentors, a few chosen mentors that she really wants to listen to. But I love that you bring people to the truth of themselves. I hope that's what I'm doing in my coaching business as well. You have a lot of different gifts and talents to bring them to themselves, but what else do you want to say about that?
I think it's so important. I remember Deepak Chopra once said, guru, G-U-R-U.
Yes, I've heard that. Yes.
You.
Who are you? Yes.
Which I think is hilarious and true. And it doesn't mean we're not supposed to have mentors, because I've had plenty. Because I'm a business coach, I'm always being coached. I feel good about that. But it's how we give our power up. So let me talk about what's important to me in just in business coaching. The
Okay.
first thing is that self-love is the foundation of a wealth-producing business. That
Mm,
is different from people who are rich, because rich people are often terrified they will lose their money.
mm,
People who really are in the experience of wealth are many different levels of money. I have clients who are millionaires, and I have clients who are making 60,000 a year.
mhm.
But the wealth piece is, are you at peace?
So it's not just about the dollars, it's
Mm-mm.
the wealth that we experience and joy in our lives and
Yeah.
satisfaction and being
And having what you need and want, obviously.
yes, yeah,
The
yeah.
second thing is, a calm nervous system is the true measure of success.
A calm nervous system
Is the true measure of success.
is the true measure of success.
And
Wow.
the third thing, and I'm actually going to look at what I wrote in my newest thing. Limiting beliefs are changed in the subconscious mind. You cannot stay in the vortex enough, say a million affirmations a day.
Mm,
Fake it till you make it. Beliefs need to be changed in the subconscious. And the way I do that is through working with the inner child, with also with pendulum, also with Reiki, and also with sound. And people literally change beliefs so that the belief that they used to have comes up and then it fades away like a cloud. That's what they told me. I didn't make that up.
wow.
Yeah. So it's like the old thought comes up and then it just goes, oh, and that's what we want.
Yes, that's what we want.
And the other thing that I would say, and as we were talking earlier, I I do not close clients. I really want to just say that to everybody who's listening to this or whatever. You know, people are always constantly thinking about, how am I going to sell this, or how am I going to enroll, and whatever. I have a conversation with clients. I never call it a discovery call. I say, do you want to talk to me for half an hour? I don't do coaching on it. I say, what do you need? Tell me about that. Ask them how they are, where they are. I give them feedback that's as honest as I can give them. And at the end of the call, I say, think about this. And if you decide that it's something that is right for you, email me. 99% of the people email me.
Wow.
But I do not, um, try to get the close. And I will say this too. I'm not the most expensive coach. I don't want to be, because I want to be accessible to people. But I make plenty of money. If you know that universe, God, whatever is your source, you really know that changes all the other pieces. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. And
Yeah.
so then with all that picture of your life and your business, what role does social media play for you?
Oh, oh, social media. Well, I am being very forthright and outspoken. Let me say it this way, about how you might want to use social media. So there are
Okay.
people on social media who really educate, and you can feel the difference in them, because when you read it, you don't feel comparison with yourself. Am I doing it wrong? You don't feel like, oh my God, I need to do this. You don't feel, you have a calm nervous system.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
The other type are always selling. It's always da, 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 da. And they are on stories 20 times a day, and there's a post, and there's this and there's that. What I've learned, and this has been hard for me because I'm very coachable, because I'm a coach, you hope you're
Mhm.
coachable, but
Yes.
it's also a way of giving our power away. And so I'm actually in the middle of looking at the people that I really respect on social media and how they operate,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and separating myself from the people that are always selling. And there's one other piece here too. It's funny because in the new newsletter that I just wrote, I just love this, so I'm going to say it. Um, you know, People oftentimes on social media, when you're looking at stuff, you feel like you're missing out, which is exactly, my husband is an NLP, a neuralistic
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
programming. He's an expert in that. And I showed him somebody's copy one day, that I'd gotten. And he said, oh, let me show you how they're making you feel like you need this. and that you're missing out if you don't have it.
Well,
And
yeah, that's how we're
so
trained to sell. It's one of the ways we're trained to sell. Yeah.
one of the things that I said in this newsletter is when I talked about not inspiring versus selling, I know it goes against every marketing strategy and guru, but honestly, inspiration and sharing feel exciting to me, and selling feels tiring. Like the sales funnel, I don't like upselling. I don't like manipulation, whatever. I said, there is a lot of you'll miss out if you don't do this, or that if you don't work with this coach, whatever.
Yeah.
I said, if you don't choose to work with me, you will not be missing out, because it means you aren't supposed to work with me. And if you do, it means you're supposed to be here and we'll co-create well together. It's like, let's take the pressure off.
What a great statement of faith that is, too. Like, it's a trust statement that the clients that are meant to be with you will be with you, and the ones that aren't will not.
They will not. And if you do enroll them, they will be a pain.
Ah. Well.
Having done that in my old life when I was a young coach, boy. I remember one time when I was coaching with a guy who was coaching me, and I said, oh my goodness, I just had this client and he was terrible, and he left and whatever. And my coach said, well, we could be washing dishes in a restaurant. So it's like, it's lucky we're coaching, and sometimes there's a bad one. I haven't had a bad client or somebody that wasn't a 10 for me, 1 to 10.
Mm-hmm.
Probably, I don't know how long, 15 years.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I think somebody just asked me that question recently, and I think I've had three in the last 7 years. So being in business by myself, just maybe 3 that I've thought,
yeah,
yikes, almost like I wish I hadn't.
Well, that's why I listen so hard in that little introduction that I might have with somebody to chat with them.
Yeah.
I can tell right away. If somebody says something to me, nobody does this anymore. Well, I want to make $1 million this year. I say to them, how much did you make this past year? Because if your acceptance level is $40,000, we're not going to $1 million this year, or 6 figures. That's my other crazy place.
Mm.
Promising people 6 figures, making that this thing is one of the most manipulative things that we can do. Do most of my clients make 100,000? Absolutely. But they make it because, and this is the key, because energy is everything. And what you want is always here. And where you are is generally not there. And we have to become clear our beliefs, et cetera, so that we match that. But to say to somebody, oh, wow, you're going to make 6 figures in 3 months. People do that. They sell.
I know. I've been told that. Yeah.
It's BS at the highest level, because we have to grow into the acceptance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about how people can be healthy and enjoy the benefits of social media. Like, what do you think, like women in midlife right now who are just scrolling, they're on Pinterest, they're scrolling Instagram, they're just doing their thing, looking for answers maybe in their lives, looking for inspiration in their lives. How do we know if they're healthy in their interaction with social media or if it's unhealthy for them?
Oh, let me tell you what's the easiest way. Notice, I'm a somatically trained person. Okay. Right. Whatever. Your body never lies to you. If you feel icky when you look at that person, don't look at them anymore.
Got it.
If their message makes you feel comparing, I mean, you could go through and work through comparison forever, or you could realize that maybe they're being manipulative and you're thinking you don't have enough because that's the way they're putting it. Mm-hmm. Get away from those people.
Yep. So trust your gut. Yeah. It doesn't feel good. Go the other direction.
Let me say one other thing too about this. The way I talk about trusting your body is this. Remember when you were little and a parent, Aunt Mary would be there or somebody would be there, and your mother would say, go kiss Aunt Mary goodbye. And Aunt Mary smelled funny and you didn't like her, but you would go kiss her goodbye. That's how you started losing the truth of your body.
Oh, that is such a great point. Because we were all told to go kiss Aunt Mary when we didn't want to.
Exactly.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
So we
Yeah.
stopped trusting. The body always says yes or no. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. All right. So, how about aging? Because let's just repeat, you are 77 years old.
Yeah. Oh,
And I mean, you're one of my role models because I'm 56. I want to be as vital, as beautiful on the inside and out, as contributing like you are. I want to be in charge of myself like you are. I want to be rocking and rolling, well into my 70s, like I believe you are. And I'll tell you, one of the things I hear from women in midlife all the time is they're scared to age. They're worried about illness. They're worried about like it's all downhill from here, aging, illness, death. And the other part that I hear all the time is I want to change, but it's too late for me, quote unquote. It's too late for me because I'm in my 40s, I'm in my 50s, I'm in my 60s. I hear this every day, I think, in business, just about every day of my life. And I am trying to debunk all that, but I want to know what you've got to say about it because you are 77 and you are in the truth of who you are, and I you seem like a pretty happy, healthy person as far as I can see since I've known you.
I'm pretty
So
happy.
what do you have to say to women about that?
Yeah. And I'm healthy too. Okay. I have several things. Let's start with information.
Okay.
So Carl Jung came up with the seven faces of the soul. When
Yes.
you're born, it's the naming, and then the power, which is between 18 months and 3, and that's when you come into your Enneagram point, actually. And then there's eternal youth, where you think nothing bad will happen to you, and then you fly too close to the sun, like Icarus, and you get the wounding in your teenage years, and you spend the next 40 years working through your shadow, the shadow time, if you work
Okay.
it through. If you don't,
Okay.
you usually end up being bitter. So and old. So you work between teenage years and 55 in the shadow. And then if you're working your shadow, and there's light shadow and dark shadow. And then there's the time of the double. The time of the double is when you begin to move into mastery. It starts at 55. You're not in mastery at 55. By the way, I learned this the hard way. I went, oh my God, I'm 55. Oh, now at 77, yeah, I'm in mastery. Okay. But
Okay.
that was 22 years because, you know, but this piece, and then the last is the remain when the soul comes to get you. So,
Okay.
so I want to talk about this part. So, first of all, your shadow is extremely important. And the dark shadow, I'm not doing that work right now here, but is really, really important. And also, let me just add in here, we have ego, we have negative ego, and we have positive ego. Negative ego is the one that tells you, you're getting old, you're not pretty anymore, you're going to
It's too
die.
late for you, all that.
It's
Yeah.
over for you. Just
Right.
think about this, folks who are listening to this. I became a certified pendulum healer, Reiki master, and sound healer in the last 2 years.
Age
Now,
75.
yeah, exactly. Over the last 2 years. Now, and then, I mean, I'm trained by, Gay and Katie Hendricks, so I'm a Hendricks coach, and I'm trained in Hakomi and, all sorts of things. But the important thing is that when you realize that becoming the goddess crone is not about you getting old and dying, it's about your real contribution, because you come into wisdom that no 34-year-old has, that's on, excuse my language, the effing Instagram.
Ah.
And we have to separate ourselves from that, because at 34, they're looking like I mean, not just looking, but they're talking about things that 34-year-olds talk about.
Right.
And Instagram has been great for 34-year-olds. It's been awesome. 34, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes. Yes.
But what I would invite your clients to do and people listening is look at your wisdom, look
Yes.
at your experience. And instead of spending time in your negative ego beating the crap out of yourself,
Yeah.
start to look and see, what do I have to contribute and what do I want to contribute? What makes me feel alive? And let's talk about beauty and radiance. Because look, I am not the prettiest person on the planet. I look fine. And everybody, listen, if you don't have color in your hair, you should get some right away. Tomorrow's my day. I get more purple and teal in my hair. Tomorrow's my long bleaching day for work for hair. So we are here to realize that as the crone, this is the time we've been waiting for. And it's only the culture that tells us we're over. So beauty and radiance. The culture tells you about beauty. But
Yes.
what it's really about is a radiance and aliveness.
Mm.
I mean, if there's one reason that I have women get their colors done, that I do their colors, it's
Yeah.
because your face is either enhanced by what's around your face or it is not. So for instance, one of the things is not that many people get black in their palette. Oh, and people go crazy. Women go crazy over that because they've been told that that's what makes them look serious and
Right. Classy and
yeah,
business-like and
all that stuff.
professional and
I
blah,
have no black in my palette, and people take me very seriously. And but what's interesting about it is that when you have the right color around you, you automatically will look beautiful.
you shine, right?
You'll shine and you
Yeah.
will look like yourself. And let me add another piece, because when I do color and I, have a session with people and all that, one of the things I do tell women, now I love to wear makeup. I'm not a no makeup girl because I love putting on makeup.
Mm.
And I know great makeup and stuff. But the most important thing I tell women is always use luminizer. Luminizer is one of the most important things you can put on your cheeks. And there are many beautiful luminizers out on the market, but they bring the face up and they give you this little glow. But I always do that.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
But
I hear you
yeah,
saying a couple things. I hear you saying that beauty and radiance is never over.
radiance is never over, and it
The
doesn't
culture
mean
says,
beauty's the culture thing. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
right? And it's more about aliveness and shining in our lives, feeling
Yeah.
like we're contributing, like we're relevant,
Right.
and we can find out about our colors literally and really add to that confidence around beauty and radiance by dressing or making ourselves up in such a way that exemplifies our physical beauty as well, right?
Well, let's talk just for a second. Let's talk about this.
Okay.
So your colors are, when I do people's colors, it's determined by hair, skin, and eyes. I mean, that's what God, the universe, gave you when you were born. And you can do anything you want, but you still have the same skin, hair, and eyes. Okay. That's it. When you wear your colors, it's having your inner essence shine to the outside world, because that's what your colors are a reflection of. They're a reflection of your inner essence. And what I tell people is, I want you to be able to walk into a room and be known without saying a word.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
And that's possible through color.
absolutely.
Really?
Well,
I don't know anything about this.
you said, God, you look so great today.
I did. And I meant it. I wasn't kidding.
Really simple. And let everybody know I have on jeans underneath this.
And
But
slippers, right?
and
Wasn't it?
Uggs. Yeah, I have Uggs on.
Oh, yeah. Right.
but but it really makes a difference. And I think let me see one thing about color. as you get older and you don't have black in your palette, and I learned this in a painful way, if you put it up around your face, it will show the shadows on your face and you'll look older.
Black.
Oh man, yeah. If it's not in your palette, if it's in your palette, it's fine. But yeah, it's an important thing. And also the wrong white. If the white is whiter than your teeth, if it's bright white, your teeth will look yellow and it will look weird. If you have on the right white, it will make your face look gorgeous.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do people find out about their palette?
Well, you can, you're going to give them information about me. They can go
Yeah.
on my website. I have a whole section on color.
Oh,
So
okay, great.
yeah,
Yeah,
and a questionnaire to see where they are, and it gets sent to me. And yeah, yeah.
perfect. Yes, we'll put this in the show notes, but our website is annsegendorfmoon.com, but we'll put it in the notes, the show
So
notes.
that we spell it right.
Spelling, right. It's not A-N-N, there's an E, and then the Dorf is with the PH, not an F. Just check the show notes, please, if you want to get in touch with Anne. And her email address will be in there as well.
Thanks.
Okay, wow. So anything else about how to age well?
Yeah, so a couple of things. So many, many years ago, and let me just say this was before I made a lot of money and things like that. So don't take this as like, oh, well, Anne's got lots of money. So it's, long before I had that. When I was a Montessori teacher, okay, I started having regular massages. I went to acupuncture.
Ah,
I've been doing that for 40, 50 years. Okay.
wow.
I've been going the same acupuncturist since 1983. So,
Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh, that's great. Wow.
so, um, yeah, so I have body work once a week. It's funny because one of the things I teach people is how these four pillars, whatever the four words are, there's a way of getting to those four words. And mine are creativity, beauty, spirituality, and self-care. And I'm kind of a queen of self-care because it's a really important thing. So I have colonics once a month. I have my hair done once a month. It's like all of these pieces. Oh, and I work out. I do Pilates once a week, and then I have a regular half hour that I work out with somebody where we do bar and Pilates and all sorts of stuff. And then I work out, walk and stuff. But that's basically it. But the underlying piece is I feel like I'm excited about my life and that I have so much to share. And I've had clients that have stayed with me over 20 years. I don't have a huge,
Following.
amount. Well, I have a pretty good following, but not a huge amount of clients because I don't take that many clients. But to think that most of my clients have been with me for years is really powerful to me. More important than having 1,000 clients.
Yeah, that's how I feel too, because the longer you work with people, the better you know them, the more sharp. It just takes the work to another level.
And it's depth.
It's powerful. It's depth
Yeah.
to the work. Yes.
Yeah.
Depth to the work.
And there's something about watching people bloom that is really the reason I do it. I have a client who's a millionaire now. But when he started with me 20 years ago, he was making $5,300 as a therapist. He had a son who, by the way, is now at the University of Virginia. His college is completely paid for. Oh, he's a sophomore now, but it's completely paid for. And this guy, now runs a company that works with family transition in billionaire companies. But he's so fabulous as a therapist, they hire him. And to watch him go from 50, if he ever complains to me, I say, remember when you were making $5,300 a month? It's like, remember that? It's amazing to me, and to watch that is the honor of a lifetime to me.
Yes, it is to be on the path with people
Right.
and be witness to their
Yeah.
transformation that's what keeps me going every single day.
Yeah.
Honestly. It's
Yeah.
just so rewarding, so fabulous. And it's accessible to anyone.
And it's
Anybody can do
accessible.
the work. Anybody can do the work. So
Right.
that's an encouragement. And that, I guess that's kind of a note to end on there, is that what I'm trying to say to people every day, whether it's in my newsletter, it's on this podcast, it's in my coaching groups, my private coaching programs, conversations like this, guests I have join me like you, is everything you want is accessible to you, people. If
Yeah.
you just do the work, be yourself, do the work, and it will come. You can have anything. And all the noise of the world is noise. And we want to listen within and really hear our own voices, that because like you said, our bodies don't lie.
Yeah.
And yeah, we can be our own gurus. Gee, you are you.
Soul only wants you to come home to yourself. But
Yes.
the culture is always telling us how to be. And this has not been an easy journey for me.
Mm,
This took a long time. So, we need to be patient and loving with ourselves.
yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely. Oh, well, I just feel so full having this
Oh,
conversation with you, Anne. Thank you so much for your time.
it
Thank you for being here.
was an honor. I loved it. So much fun.
Oh, so much fun. And all of you who joined us today, thank you so much for listening. And again, look in the show notes for Anne's contact information if you'd like to learn more about the things that she discussed. And gosh, I'll talk to you all again soon. Thanks. Bye bye. Thank you so much for listening to the Life Makeovers podcast. Please like, subscribe, and share this podcast with those that you think would also benefit from what we're doing here. And I will talk to you again soon.